At this point, it's pretty clear the Lakers are loaded with depth. Honestly, they might be way deeper than anyone expected. Last night proved it again. They played without Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, and LeBron hasn't even touched the court this season. Yet somehow they still won. And not just against any team, but a tough, defensive Portland squad on their home floor. Rui Hachimura dropped 28 points, DeAndre Ayton had 29, Jake LaRavia scored 11, and Nick Smith Jr., a two-way player, came off the bench and exploded for 25 points. That's not just depth, that's scary depth. Right now, 6 players on the Lakers are averaging double figures this season. Nick Smith Jr. with 11.3 PPG, Jake LaRavia with 12.5, DeAndre Ayton and Rui Hachimura both around 17, Austin Reeves at 31, and Luka Doncic leading the charge with a ridiculous 41.3 points per game. So yeah, this team isn't just good. They're stacked. Offensively dangerous, defensively solid, and maybe, just maybe, deeper than the rest of the NBA wants to admit. The Lakers might not be the best overall defensive team, but their bench unit is locking people up right now, holding the best defensive rating in the entire NBA. That's crazy considering how many people doubted them before the season. Everywhere you look, this team has depth that nobody saw coming. Fans said Luka Doncic and LeBron had no help, that Austin Reeves wasn't a real third option and should be traded, that DeAndre Ayton wasn't a good fit, that Marcus Smart was washed, and that Jake LaRavia was a nobody. Anthony Edwards even said he didn't know who he was. But now those takes are aging terribly. Sure, it's early. The Lakers are 6-2 through 8 games, and a lot can change over an 82-game season. But what we're seeing so far is proof this team's depth is for real. Even without Luka, Reeves, or LeBron on the floor, they're still winning, and that says a lot about how dangerous this squad really is. Alba admits the Lakers are a lot deeper than people thought. But that raises the question, where did this depth come from? Has it been there all along? Or did the coaching staff find a way to unlock it and get more out of players who were being overlooked? We're going to break that down, what they've shown so far, who stepped up, and how the stats and eye test prove it. And if we're talking about last night's game, we've got to start with Nick Smith Jr. I mentioned him in my post-game breakdown, but it's worth diving deeper. I wish I could say JJ Redick drew up some wild new system for him, but really, it was simple. Portland's pressure forced their hand. With Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves both out, the Lakers couldn't even get the ball across half court under Portland's defense. That's when they had to rely on Nick Smith Jr., and man, he delivered. Nick Smith Jr. might just be the best ball handler on the Lakers after Luka and Reeves, and honestly, one of the best on the roster overall. He's crafty, fast, and hard to stay in front of. That's exactly why JJ Redick turned to him, and Smith ended up blowing past everyone's expectations, including Redick's. At first, he played the simple role of a facilitator, just bringing the ball up and getting the offense organized. But once he settled in and gained confidence, he started creating for himself, and that's when things really changed. He showed off his handles, his quick side-to-side movement, and his ability to weave through screens like a veteran. Suddenly, Portland couldn't keep him out of the paint or off the scoreboard. Smith finished with 25 points, shooting an impressive 10-4-15 from the field, 67%, and 5-4-6 from 3, 83%. But what made it stand out even more was how he got those buckets. Calm, confident, and completely in control. Nick Smith Jr. really knew how to use screens to his advantage, smart, deceptive movement to free himself up either behind the three-point line or in the mid-range. He hit 5 of the Lakers' 9 threes last night, showing off that confident shooting stroke. And when defenders chased him off the line, he pulled up for smooth mid-range jumpers or floaters. What makes it even more impressive is that he's on a two-way contract, not a guaranteed 15-man roster spot. Yet he came in, played like a veteran, and helped the Lakers secure a win hardly anyone expected. That's huge. Whenever guys like Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, Gabe Vincent, or LeBron are out, Nick Smith is definitely going to get more chances. Honestly, he might even earn that 15th roster spot when the Lakers decide to lock it in. We haven't seen much of him before this game, but after last night, both fans and the coaching staff have a lot more confidence in what he can bring. It's just one part of the story, but it shows how much hidden depth this team really has. It wasn't just about last night's game. This applies to the whole season, especially for guys like Marcus Smart. Offensively, he's hit or miss. Last night, he wasn't great. Just 9 points on 3 of 11 shooting and 1 of 5 from 3, with 5 assists and 5 turnovers. But if you actually watched the game, his defense and leadership were on another level. He set the tone, kept the energy up, and led the team on that end of the floor. The Lakers basically beat Portland at their own game, defense. Portland is known for their pressure and chaos, and in the first half they were winning that battle, forcing the Lakers into 12 turnovers. But as the game went on, the Lakers adjusted, flipped the script, and started locking Portland down in the half court, not letting them run their offense. A lot of that came from Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, and the bench unit, who completely changed the momentum with their intensity and defense. Like I said, the Lakers bench has the best defensive rating in the entire NBA right now, and a huge reason for that is Marcus Smart. Whether he starts or comes off the bench, he's the emotional leader of that group. His voice, intensity, and defensive mindset have completely changed their culture. The Lakers are clearly a better defensive team than they were last season, and Smart's leadership has a lot to do with that. But he's not the only reason. The front office deserves credit too. The way they reshaped the roster was smart business. They traded away Dorian Finney-Smith, who was solid, but used his contract to bring in Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and Jake LaRavia. That move turned out to be a major win. All three have been huge for the Lakers and are a big reason behind this new depth everyone's talking about. And speaking of Ayton, he's quietly averaging 17 points per game, and that's without Luka Doncic for most of the season. DeAndre Ayton has only played about 2.5 games alongside Luka Doncic so far, and even last night he was out there without both Luka and Austin Reeves. That makes his performance even more impressive. He dropped a team-high 29 points and proved he can step up as a solid number 2 option, or even the main guy when needed. In the low post, he looked confident and decisive, not hesitating or fumbling the ball, just going straight to work. His mid-range jumper looked automatic, that soft touch and floater game on full display. But what really stood out was his effort on defense. He's been locked in on both ends, showing he's more than just an offensive piece. That's a big part of the Lakers' depth right there. And then there's Jake LaRavia. On his 24th birthday, he might not have been perfect defensively, but he still chipped in 11 points on 5 of 10 shooting. He went 0-for-3 from deep, sure, but his energy, defense, and hustle made a difference. He's the final piece of that 3-player return from trading Dorian Finney-Smith. And honestly, all three, Smart, Ayton, and LaRavia, have turned that deal into a major win for the Lakers. Jake LaRavia might not have hit a 3 last night, but looking at his season overall, he's been impressive. He had a 27-point game against the Timberwolves, a 25-point outing against Miami, and is currently averaging 12.5 points per game on 58% shooting from the field and 44.4% from 3. On top of that, he's been a defensive asset, averaging 1.6 steals per game, taking on tough matchups, and showing disciplined, high-level defense whether coming off the bench or starting. Many people had no idea who he was, not just Anthony Edwards in that bio clip, but even Lakers fans themselves. I loved what Dorian Finney-Smith brought to the team, and it was tough to see him go, but it's hard to argue that he would have offered more than the combination of Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, and Jake LaRavia are giving right now. Between the three of them, plus the real two-way impact LaRavia has shown, the Lakers suddenly have depth and two-way value they barely had last season. When it comes to role players, the Lakers have gotten tremendous value, and it's been crucial for their depth. Beyond Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, and Nick Smith Jr., you can't forget Rui Hachimura. He's quietly been putting up 17 points per game, filling whatever role the team needs. Second option, third option, fourth option, it doesn't matter. He's been extremely efficient, currently the most efficient wing on the team, shooting 59.3% from the field and never dipping below 50% in any game this season. He's played all 8 games, staying durable, contributing on offense, and even holding his own defensively. From three-point range, he's at 45.5%, maintaining consistency from last season and even the past 2 years. He's become one of their most reliable offensive players, probably the most dependable role player overall, and an essential piece of their rotation. With 5 role players performing at this level, the Lakers' depth is looking scarier than anyone expected. The Lakers' depth with Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, Jake LaRavia, Marcus Smart, and Nick Smith Jr. is already impressive for any team. We're talking 4 or 5 players performing not just in one game, but consistently over multiple games, especially Rui, LaRavia, and Smart. But the value doesn't stop there. Guys like Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, and even Dalton Conley and Bronny James off the bench are contributing too. That's a ton of unexpected production. Sure, a few of these players, 2, 3, maybe 4, were expected to exceed expectations, but having 5 to 7 role players offering this level of value on both ends of the floor is crazy. Their entire rotation has been solid, whether starting or coming off the bench. These role players are stepping up whether Luka Doncic is on the court or not. And with LeBron still out, they're showing every night that this Lakers team is deeper and more reliable than anyone anticipated. The Lakers are showing value on both ends of the court. And honestly, if you still can't accept that, even after their win last night against Portland on their home floor, beating a tough defensive team while playing without over 70% of their payroll, I don't know what else to tell you. This team is way deeper than most expected and has proven critics wrong. They're providing real help for Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, and it's clear their role players are stepping up big time. So what do you think? Has the Lakers' depth surprised you? Who's impressed you the most? Do you think they can keep this up? Or is it only temporary? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and have an awesome day or night.